What's happening, everybody? I am here in Luxor in Egypt, and I got Jerry and Stephanie representing the 757. Did I get?
757.
I got to write the 7 cities, and this is your first time in Africa, obviously first time in Egypt, but your story is so compelling as far as how you got here. And Jerry, I want to start with you because you're a brother.
Yeah.
And I know when it comes to brothers coming to Africa, it can be a little bit of a challenge. And then we're gonna come to Stephanie and talk about how influential she was.
Yeah.
So walk it down for me. Tell me about how you ended up here in Africa.
All right, so really, I ain't even want to come to Africa. It was nothing on my list to do or nothing. Because, I mean, when I was coming up, all we saw was the little fat belly babies with the flies everywhere, the little oatmeal and everything. So I was like, nah, I ain't going to Africa. I ain't leaving nothing in Africa. So I won't go in there. But when George Floyd hit, it did something to me. And if it didn't do nothing to every African American male, I don't know what you're thinking right now. But when I seen that thing just did something to me. And I was like, what? We got something going on really, really wrong where we at. So when I was in school, I ain't heard nothing about no Africans doing nothing, no Nubian, nothing. So yeah, it just did something different to me when I seen George Floyd. Then I had my wife over here. She always wanted to go to Africa. This little hair told me here, but she always wanted to go to Africa. I was like, no, we ain't going to Africa. I seen blood down, and I was like, I know we ain't going to Africa. But anyway,
But let's talk about this George Floyd, because I think the world saw George Floyd.
Yeah.
What did that do to you as a black man when you saw that brother get executed slowly?
Yeah.
9 minutes, we watched this man get executed in what they tell us is the greatest country in the world.
Yeah.
And they say this country is the greatest country, but we watch ourselves being exterminated like it's nothing. What did it do to you to make you start thinking differently?
Well, actually, we from VA, we moved to North Carolina, so it's a different atmosphere anyway. So you hear different stuff like tobacco fields and all this other stuff. I guess when I was in VA, I didn't see a lot of racial stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was there, but I ain't see it. But when I got to North Carolina, I seen it, I heard it, and everything. But when I seen George Floyd, it messed me up, man. And I don't know, it really, really did something to me. It changed me as a person for real. I mean, I don't even know how to explain it, but
what did it do? Let's walk it down, because a lot of times people don't understand. They don't even understand what we deal with, and they want us to be emotionless. They want us to be just take it. And so, what did it do to you as a man?
So I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, I was one of them individuals that I ain't really care about too much of nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was me, my people, and that was it. But when I seen George Floyd, it's like right now, man. I'm feeling a certain way right now, just thinking about it, because that's what we really, really going through. You know what I'm saying? You just got some people out there that, hey, they just don't like us. Period. You know what I mean? You can be driving, get pulled over for nothing. And I mean, you can have your concealed weapon permit, all of that. They'll still do something to you. Like, it's just crazy. But it really, really did something to me.
So like it woke you up in a sense?
It woke me slam up.
Yeah.
Really. It really, really woke me up.
How
when I say woke me up, I mean, like, after that, man, I start doing research on our people's, like, history. You know what I'm saying? So that's really, like, how we got to Africa right now. I wasn't coming to Africa, I'm trying to tell you. But I started doing research. I started reading on Kemet, the Moors, everything, man. It just made me do something a little different. But
it was a reality check.
It was definitely a reality check where we at in America.
So now here you are in Africa.
That's right.
And you had Harriet over here.
Harriet Tubman. That's my baby, Harriet Tubman.
So Harriet was trying to come to Africa for a long time.
She's been trying to come to Africa. Harriet Tubman. Yeah.
And you were like, nah, I'm good. I don't need to go to Africa. Why are you on that? But what were some of the things that she was saying about Africa that over the years? And this is Stephanie, y'all. This is not Harriet.
Yeah, so I've always just wanted to be here. I've always been about our people. Like Jerry said, we're from Virginia Beach. And so I actually never experienced real racism until I moved to North Carolina. I might have been in North Carolina, Raleigh for 1 week, and I was already called a nigger. Never
What?
been called it before. And never heard the word just come out the way that it did. But I've always just been about our people. Even my kids, it's always been about Black Christmas, Black shows. You need to see yourself on the TV. I want a Black baby. You know, always been about our people to my family. But my husband wouldn't want to come to Africa because I honestly, I think I would have sought a lot more countries. But I did get him over to Egypt. My sister sent a email about Egypt. That's why we're here. Mm-hmm. But no, I just think it. Social media, so Instagram started showing like little clips of how beautiful the beaches are in East Africa. So I started sending them to my husband. So this was before George Floyd. Just trying to show him how it's beauty over here and stop listening to what they're telling us on the TV about. Like he said, you just seem like it's just a poor country and there's nothing here, but there's nothing but beauty here. And they just don't like it to show where we're from. Just like Brazil, it's always about, they always make us think it's crime and scare us to where we're from, but we've created so much and we're brilliant people. So just trying to encourage my husband to come. So always, you know, COVID-19 did what COVID-19 did, but there was a lot of good that came out of COVID-19. Just the stillness of it all, and us being around our family, and like I said, to slow everybody down. And unfortunately, George Floyd did die, but the world was able to slow down and see his death. And like I said, cause an awakening and make everybody wake up. And like I said, after that, my husband, it did change something in him because he originally, police brutality was just police brutality. It was just another day because it was happening. Mm. But to everybody to sit still and see that on the TV caused just a difference in him. And he would not stay off the internet trying to find more, you know, have more research about our people and all the great that we have done. And so that is why I'm here, because he's finally saw the greatness in Africa. And like I said, it's not just palm trees in Miami or in the Caribbean. I mean, they're here. There's beautiful beaches here. Yeah. It's our greatness is right here in Africa.
In the motherland.
In the motherland.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So now that you've gotten here, and you were telling me now I got that now I'm gonna make a little personal here.
All right.
So then you started watching some of my videos.
Right.
Oh,
so tell me what happened when you went down that rabbit hole right there.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man, I got hooked because I'm trying to tell you, I come home, she be cooking, I'm on YouTube right now. Hey.
You telling me what Jay's saying? What's this? You know, the Portuguese and what's going on with the Catholic Church, and we're hearing about Ghana now, and I'm hearing about you're in Zanzibar, and I'm hearing about, you know, this slave dungeon and what happened to our people. And it's even better because you can hear experiences from everyone else.
Right.
You know. And one thing that you said that it amazes me now is how many white people are here in Africa and how less of us are here. And this is our country. And it's like 95% of people that are here where we're at now.
Yeah, in Egypt,
It is a lot of white people here, and I'm just amazed that there's none of us here when we should be here learning about our culture and how brilliant we are. I'm amazed to see the temples that we've built. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah, I think with all the black males out there listening, you need to come to Africa, straight up. Get with Jay. What's your other boy name?
Freddie. Yeah.
Freddie. Get with Freddie.
And he's just real. He's as real as it is, y'all. He's as real as he can be.
Get with him and come on down here and enjoy yourself.
It was an urban intellect.
That's right. Urban intellectuals.
And intellectuals and maximum impact.
That's right.
To learn about our culture. It's just beautiful here, and I'm glad I'm just getting warmed up. Now I got hooked my husband. Now it's over. I'm about to see everything now.
Yeah,
it's
over.
To be out.
Well, you know, that's real though, because the exposure. I firmly believe, and this is what I say on my videos. I firmly believe it has been a calculated plan to make sure we don't come and discover this. And they create narratives for us that we believe, and then we walk around and we say, well, we're poor, but we're not poor. You know, if you take Black Americans and you put us and make us a country, we would be around the 13th, 14th wealthiest country in the world with a 1.6 to 1.7 trillion dollar GDP.
Yeah.
But we're thinking we don't have any money, we don't have anything, but yet the same thing they do in West Africa and East Africa, the Lebanese come in, the Chinese come in, and they set up shop. They do it in our Black neighborhoods.
Yeah.
They come and they open up the carryouts. They open up the different nail salons, the hair stores, the beauty supply stores.
Can't wait.
Wait for us to consume,
Can't wait.
and that's the thing. And so when we come and understand the game, really what coming to this continent has done is put me on game. Like, oh, okay, this is how y'all playing it. Okay, all
Oh
right.
yeah, they doing something different over here than what I'm thinking I was doing over there, but yeah, they
Oh
really,
yeah,
really doing it over here.
yeah.
For
You,
real.
you hustle step up
Oh,
a
yeah.
notch or two.
For real.
Yeah.
So what message would you have for people as far as bringing their children and their children having this exposure? Because that's what, this is your first country, and I'm telling you, I've been to 17. This is the first for you all. I know you're going to come to more, go to Ghana, there are other places, hit the East, you know, but
Yeah.
why do you think it's important for children to have this experience?
Because we have to know the truth about our culture. You know, our kids are older, but now, I mean, if I could do this again, if I could have hooked my husband a little bit earlier, they would have definitely known. They would have been on here multiple times. We wouldn't have been going to Vegas or into Miami. We would have been over here to learn about our culture. We need to know the truth about where we're from. We need to know the truth about, you know, how we were stolen or raped. We need to know the truth about where we come from, and know what our ancestors had to go through. I just think we just need to be here to learn, not to allow somebody else to tell us, but we need to come here to learn the facts about where we come from, and it comes from the people that are here.
So Jerry, in closing, man, bring it home for the brothers, because they still not convinced. They still sitting there like, man, I'm not convinced. I mean, but your words are poignant and what they need to hear.
Well, I'm gonna tell them, get your money together, get on that plane, come to Africa. It's a lot to see, a lot to learn. Everything is here. Everything is here. You need to come on and get it.
All right, everybody, you heard it. And so, Stephanie, Jerry, they broke it down. They're here in Egypt with us.
Yes, sir.
And this is the first, because I can't wait for them to get to Ghana and to Tanzania or Kenya, wherever else they decide to go from there. But really, it's up for you to see. And what we're doing is creating these exposure opportunities for you. So you can look and you can say, you know what? I saw for myself. And then you could understand that scam that they're running over there, trying to so-called teach us history, when they leave out so many different things, tell us that we're marginalized, tell us that we have learning issues, and tell us that we're crime riddled and we're all of these disease riddled and all that. That's the same thing they say about Africa, different parts of Africa, the same way that same narrative. And so it's up to us to change the narrative. And the only way you can do it is to come see for yourself. So y'all know what to do. Subscribe, like, share. I'm going to break this down even more. I'm going to keep talking to more and more people, because if we don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. And surely the Western media is not going to do it. So, all right, take care. Be safe.
Open up your eyes and see all the fun and mystery. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny. From the mountains to the shore, so many things to explore. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny.
The Adventures of Darren and Destiny. And Darren and Destiny are twin brother and sister, and you go on their adventures throughout the African diaspora, meaning so African diaspora destinations, primarily focused in Africa, but we go to South America, we're going to go to the Caribbean. Their first book is going to take you to Ghana, and then we're going to go on a safari, and from there we're going to go to Ethiopia, and then we go to Salvador, Brazil. And what the goal is to be able to inspire curiosity in the continent of Africa, in our children from a very young age, and to really tell a more accurate story. Most of our children are exposed to negative images, late night infomercials about how bad things are, everybody's sick, everybody's poor, everyone's uneducated, but that's simply not true. So what Darren and Destiny and their family do is they go to different African destinations. They are learning about these different places. You're beginning to see positive images, but still telling the truth. I mean, that's the important thing, to tell the truth about some of the things that have occurred. But it's all done on a children's level so they begin to understand it. And it begins to pique their curiosity. They begin to learn more. And hopefully one day they will want to explore and visit the continent of Africa and its many countries. There's just so much that Darren and Destiny are able to do, and as they're doing it, it's like they begin to open the minds of a new generation, and they don't get bombarded and indoctrinated with negativity. They're actually able to see positivity and inspiring images and messages about the African diaspora, as well as those who are still indigenous to the continent of Africa, and they begin to learn more and just see things differently. So I'm excited about introducing the adventures of Darren and Destiny.